Hey, happy holidays, everybody. I'm back. Okay, I thought I would get out a quick video before Christmas Eve, which is in about 3 minutes. But I did notice that this particular Phalaenopsis here, it's already had, here I am filming this stupid cardboard, but it's already had a flush of blooms up here. That's in my very first video, and maybe one or two after that, the original flush. And then we watched as it did a second flush. There's supposed to be 12 flowers on this flush, but I lost several due to cold temperatures. This is winter, and I believe it was the cold temperatures, because when I turned on the heater in this grow area, I managed to stop the fast fall off. I lost about 4, but I managed to put a stop to it by warming the area up. So yeah, I believe that Phalaenopsis like it probably closer to 70. They can at least bloom at 60 Fahrenheit, but the blooms drop off in just a few days. So yeah, there seems to be a correlation between the life of a bloom and temperature, at least with Phalaenopsis. I'll say that pretty much as a fact for Phalaenopsis and more specifically my 2 white ones. Haven't had a problem losing blooms to cold with the purple one. I'm not sure it's ever been in bloom during the cold temps. Yeah, haven't been paying close attention to these kind of details until a month or 2 ago, when I started making YouTube videos and wanted to record basically those details. But anyway, I did notice down here at the tip, this is why I mentioned the first flush and this being the second flush, it kind of looks like it wants to do something of around 3. You got 2 little, there was just the little knobby that kind of indicated that it was done lengthening the spike, or at least I thought it was done lengthening the spike. I'm gonna get all out of focus here. I'm gonna look over here at this other one for comparison. I should probably cut the video and restart it, but on the phone I haven't quite figured that out yet. Trying to get the angle, but the camera doesn't want to do it. It kind of looks like yeah, you can't tell from that angle. Kind of looks like this one's doing it too. It looks like it might want to do a round 2. This is its initial flush. It's a little bit behind the other white one, but it's got all of its blooms opened, and being a little bit behind, I managed to keep them all because the cold effects didn't seem to happen on this, because I had already had the heater going, and the 1 or 2 blooms that was out, I don't know, but they didn't drop. I guess maybe they were young enough and something. I don't know, it kind of adds questions to my temperature theory. But these both look This would be round 3 for this one. And I'm a little bit concerned of how long this spike is getting. If 2 rounds wasn't enough, now it might do 3. You know, that really would be the definition of getting greedy with your blooms, wouldn't it? So, I don't know. I'm gonna keep an eye on that for the next few days and see what it does. But they both kind of look like they're wanting to do something more. This one, I'm a little hesitant. I mean, it used to be a good candidate for trying things, but I'm growing this for my late friend that passed away earlier this year. I think that was just before the whole growing for Josh thing started. I'm not going to try to say her name because I cannot pronounce it. But somehow, not quite sure how, because I'm not a devout follower on her channel, but this growing for Josh, again, a person that has passed away, and people all over the world are growing for Josh. Same sort of concept. There's nothing new about the concept. Only this plant is for my friend and not Josh. I've got a plant behind me that I'm thinking of considering that Josh the angel plant. This is basically Linda the white phalaenopsis. And I add the name in there so that 20 years from now, I don't forget who I'm growing this plant for. It's in the nickname. Has nothing to do with the species or anything. It's my friend's, and it's actually her nickname. Linda the white phalaenopsis. But it's just a white complex hybrid phalaenopsis. Okay, that was overly explained. Seem to be starting to do that a lot. And okay, so this one's on, well, if it does a round 3, well, the other one will be on round 2. And the purple one over here isn't even forming buds yet. It's still extending it there. I was going to say its spikes. No, it's really their spikes. The single leafed one on the back here doesn't seem to be getting any worse. It's just a single leaf. So I expect after this bloom flush, it will, hopefully at least, put out another leaf. But they're still extending. They've got a little ways to go before they form buds. Thinking about kind of opening that and giving them some light. I don't know. It's not something I've ever done before, and they've bloomed just fine. But this is the purple one. It obviously will be on its first flush of flowers. This one to the left will be its very first flush of flowers, because it's never bloomed before. But I guess it said, hey, YouTube video, I want to show off for YouTube. If he's making YouTube videos now, I'll show off. Okay, maybe not, but I think it's an acceptable excuse. Is it decided to put out its first bloom for YouTube because, you know, making YouTube videos is a novelty and it wanted in on the excitement. And apparently I have already rambled for 10 minutes. So I think I'll let you go with that. All kinds of things are hopefully gonna start here in the new year, which is just around the corner. Yeah, I don't know if this wants to do a third flush. I don't know if I'm prepared to let it. I don't want the plant draining out so much energy that it kills itself, but at the same time I'm an advocate of letting the plant do what it wants. So I don't know, I just don't know. And I'm anxious to get rid of that cardboard. It was a makeshift support. Talked about that for a while. It didn't need support for the longest time, but toward the end of this second flush, it could not hold a spike so incredibly long up anymore, and it needed some support. So it ended up getting a real quick kind of a DIY support that, I don't know, hopefully I'll come up with something better, maybe even use a stake next time. But I had to come up with something in like 5 minutes to support it before it settled down onto the fish tank, which I guess I could have let it do, but that goes against my not touching the blooms or letting them touch anything. Okay, this time I really will let you go, and I'll talk to you next time.